The sound of a woman crying filled the dark silence. Sarah sat in her car, hands gripping the steering wheel, mascara running down her cheeks. She whispered into her phone, her voice trembling. "If you're watching this, I need you to tell me I'm not crazy." To everyone else, David Thornton was perfect. Handsome, successful, charitable, the man who always smiled at galas and gave grand speeches about family values. But behind closed doors, perfection took on another face. At home, Sarah lived in quiet exhaustion. 7 months pregnant, she woke before dawn to a cold kitchen and a husband already halfway out the door. "Morning," she'd whisper. He'd barely look up. "Conference call in 5. When she reminded him about the ultrasound, the one where they'd finally see their baby's face, he dismissed it. "I can't today, Sarah. I'm building a future for this family. Someone has to." He left her standing there, hand on her belly, surrounded by silence. Perfection doesn't live at home, she thought. It performs for strangers. Every day became a loop. Cleaning, cooking, grocery runs, waiting. No maid, no help, no warmth. David said they couldn't afford one, not after his 3rd Rolex. When she texted him about her back pain, he'd reply hours later, "Take some Advil." When she confessed she was scared of giving birth, he'd respond, "You'll be fine. Women do it every day." She tried to be the perfect wife. Candlelit dinners, makeup, lingerie, his favorite shows. Every night ended the same, an empty chair at the table, and tears muffled under the covers while he snored beside her. There were no bruises, no shouting, no cheating, just a slow, invisible kind of dying, the kind no one else could see. One morning, Sarah stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror and whispered, "Who are you?" The woman looking back was pale, hollow-eyed, unrecognizable. That same day, while scrolling through Facebook, she found photos of David at a corporate event, the one he never mentioned. He was smiling, arm around a young coworker. The world saw a charming husband. She saw a stranger. She shut the laptop, grabbed her coat, and walked. It wasn't meant to be a rebellion. She just needed air, and that's when she met him. James Rivera sat on a park bench sketching the river. He had gentle eyes and a kind smile. When he noticed her, he asked softly, "Is anyone sitting here?" She shook her head. "No, go ahead." They sat in silence, listening to the wind. He didn't flirt. He didn't pry. He just existed beside her, and somehow that was enough. In the days that followed, Sarah found herself returning to the bench. James was always there, sketchbook in hand, quiet and steady. The first day, they barely spoke. The third, he made her laugh with silly doodles of ducks wearing hats. By the 5th, he showed her a bird's nest hidden in a nearby tree. "You notice everything," he told her. "Most people don't look up anymore." She realized then, her husband of 4 years didn't even know she liked birds. On the 7th day, she arrived in tears. James didn't ask why. He simply handed her a tissue and sat beside her until the sun went down. He didn't try to fix her. He just let her be. By the 10th, he brought her hot chocolate. She mentioned once that it was her favorite. He remembered. By the 14th, she caught herself laughing, full-bodied, free. And when her hand brushed his, she froze. That's when she knew she was in trouble. He asked one evening, "Are you happy?" She looked away, eyes glassy. "No." "Does he know?" "He doesn't ask," she said. "He provides, that's his love language, money, status, a big house. But I'm starving, James. I live in a mansion full of food I can't eat." James listened, not to respond, but to understand. Sarah went on, "He doesn't hit me or yell, he just doesn't see me. Everyone tells me to be grateful. He works so hard, they say. You're so lucky. But I'm drowning in this luck." James said quietly, "The bar should be higher than not abusive." Tears filled her eyes. "Why do you even listen to me?" He smiled faintly. "Because you remind me what it means to feel. You notice small things, sunsets, birds, laughter. You're alive, Sarah. Even when you're breaking, you're alive." Her heart clenched. "James, I'm married." "I know. I'm pregnant. I know. And I look forward to seeing you more than my own husband. What does that make me?" "Human," he said, It makes you human. That night, Sarah hummed while she cooked, something she hadn't done in months. She wore a bright yellow scarf and smiled to herself. David noticed. "You're happy," he said, not with curiosity but accusation. "You're wearing makeup. That scarf's new. Where were you today?" She stammered. "I went for a walk." "For 2.5 hours." His eyes darkened. "I called, you didn't answer." "You're tracking my time now?" she asked, her voice shaking. David stepped closer. "Who were you with?" "No one," she lied. He studied her face. "You're different," he said. "I'm pregnant and exhausted. That's different." He leaned in. "No, you're lighter, happier, and I haven't changed anything, so what has?" Sarah turned away, voice trembling. "Maybe I'm just learning to be okay without you." That stopped him cold. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means you haven't noticed me in months," she said, finally breaking. "You don't know my favorite food, my doctor's name, or when the baby's due. You live here, but you're never here. So yes, David, I learned to be okay without you because I had no choice." David's jaw tightened. "I provide everything for you." "Everything except yourself." He stormed out. She stayed in the kitchen, shaking. The next day, she went to the park again. James had drawn her, page after page in his sketchbook. Her laughing, reading, staring at the river. "I drew what I see," he said softly. "Someone strong, beautiful, worth being cherished." She cried, overcome, then froze. A prickle on the back of her neck. Someone watching. She turned. David stood 20 feet away, face unreadable. He'd seen everything. By the time she reached him, he was gone. That night, he waited in the darkened living room, eyes blazing. "Did you really think I wouldn't find out?" "Nothing happened," she pleaded. "We're just friends." He laughed bitterly. "Friends, right, you think I'm stupid. I saw the way you looked at him." "Because he sees me," she screamed. "He asks how I'm doing. He makes me feel human." "I work for you," David shouted back. "I provide everything." "I don't want everything," she cried. "I want you. I want the man who used to care if I was crying." David's voice softened. "When was the last time you cried?" "Every night," she said quietly, "right next to you." The words broke him. "Are you in love with him?" he whispered. "I don't know," she said, "but I know I don't feel loved by you." He swallowed hard. "Do you want a divorce?" Sarah hesitated. "I want to know if you can change." "Really change. Not for a week, for real, therapy, time off work, presence, partnership." "And him." "I can't see him again," she said, her voice breaking. "But if I'm going to try, you have to try too, all in or I'm out." David's face crumbled. "Tell me how to fix this." "Start by being here," she said. "Really here." He nodded. "I'm sorry, Sarah. God, I'm sorry." Apologies are easy, she thought. Change is hard. 6 months later, the park looked the same, golden light, quiet river, but Sarah was. She sat on the bench, a baby carrier beside her. Little Emma Rose slept peacefully. She'd rebuilt her life, therapy twice a week. David had taken a leave from work. He'd shown up at every session, every midnight feeding, every tear. When James appeared on the path, they locked eyes. "Hi," he said softly. "Hi. Is this seat taken?" She smiled. "Yes, my husband sits there now." He smiled back, bittersweet. "That's good. That's really good." She gestured to the other side. "This side's free." They sat together, watching the baby. "She's beautiful," he said. "Thank you," she replied. "Her name, Emma Rose." He nodded. "Perfect name." They sat in silence, peaceful, not heavy. "He changed," Sarah said finally. "Really changed. Therapy, time, effort. He's present now, he listens. It's not perfect, but it's real." James looked at her gently. "Do you regret staying?" "Some days," she admitted. "But when I see him holding Emma, when I see him trying, I remember why I chose to try too." She looked at him with gratitude. "You saved my life, James." He shook his head. "You saved yourself. I just held up a mirror." She squeezed his hand, then let go. "Thank you for seeing me when I forgot how to see myself." He smiled. You deserve to be seen every day. I'm working on it, she said and walked away. That evening, David stood in their kitchen wearing an apron that said World's Okayest Chef. Smoke filled the air, and he looked both guilty and proud. So, the pasta's either undercooked or alive, he confessed. Sarah laughed a real laugh. Pizza. God, yes. He took Emma into his arms and kissed her forehead. Your mama is the strongest woman I know, he said softly. She gave me a second chance I didn't deserve, and I'm going to spend every day earning it. He turned to Sarah. How was your day? And I actually want to know all of it. She smiled. I went to the park, sat by the river, read my book, missed you. I missed you too, he said. Walk after dinner. I'd love that. As the evening light filled the kitchen, Sarah realized the truth she'd been too afraid to see before. Sometimes the person you're looking for is the person you already have. They just need to wake up. And so did you. For the first time in a long time, Sarah felt awake. And that was enough.